Summer school, working for the police department as a counselor with the kids. Always around
Mm.
kids. Always like, because the NYPD would do like summer school for the kids, things like that, and my mom was in community affairs. Again, my family, my mom, cop in the community doing so. It was in me. So I was there with the kids, showing them, being the big brother, and things like that. Yeah, I don't know about taxable because my mom took all my money.
Hey, that's
Right, she
that
took
sounds
it.
taxable to me right there. That's
Right, right.
okay.
She took it, and then I was like, man, she said, no, I'm taking this. You gonna give your tithes, and then you gonna save it, blah blah blah. So I did that. Went through my money, and then at the end of the year, at the end of the summertime, she said, okay, here's the money you saved.
Mm.
I was like, and mind you, that's the only money I had was what she
Yeah.
was what she saved. So that, and then my first the job after that was I worked for Chase Bank as a teenager.
You had to be trusted to work at a bank as a
Bro, I got a hookup from a good brother on the block. He was one of my mentors, Bill. He hooked me up with a job. We worked at Chase, so I was in the mail room, in the bonds room, opening up packages, taking the bonds out. I fell asleep at the chair. Bro, it was just like, when you get that first job, when you get a job 9 to 5, and I'd be like, whoa. But I was getting money. It could be that's what I thought. For my age, I was like, whoa.
Didn't we all?
Bro, I was just like, I was getting sneakers, the constructions, Tim's, all that stuff, doing everything. And then again, my mom was like, all right, give me this money because saving it. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Give me that. All right, well, end of the summer. How much money did I have? I hardly had nothing. Mom says, here's the money that you saved.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shout out to moms, man. She thinking of a master plan. I'll tell you that.
That's yeah. That's my first love right there. That's my mom. The first love.
Oof. What's going on, good people? It's your host, Drake, B Drake with Everything Culture, and we're back with another Makings of You. And this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you listen to us, we have the pleasure of introducing Will. What's good with you, Will, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm just happy to be here in the place with Everything Culture. It's been a while, but we finally here. So
we've been talking about it. It's here. Like, there's no stress. We here now, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But I greatly appreciate you, man. We've been chopping it up on TikTok for some time. Will's a director, a creator, a brother with a true talent. And we're going to be talking about that more in the future, but we're especially going to be talking more about him. Y'all know how we do it here on Everything Culture, especially with the Makings of You. This is going to be a bit of a deep dive on Will, his background, his upbringing, his perspective on life, and other things. So make sure to tap in, make sure to like, share, comment, leave a review, and engage with us. We love to hear more from you. So, you ready to get into this, Will?
I absolutely am.
Okay. All right, let's do it. First question. Will, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as happy. Finally, I'm an even tempered person. I'm an extrovert. I love to love. I love helping people. I love collaborating. Like I enjoy life, but more importantly than life, I enjoy people. So, I'm really into that.
Love it, man. Love it. What cultures do you represent?
The African American culture, American culture, which is interesting enough on that. That's a whole conversation. The church culture. Well, I really don't. I think because when you say church culture, that comes with a stigmatism. I come with the Christ culture. You know what I mean? Because church, some church cultures, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So Christ culture, culture of black men. I don't think that's represented enough, and I don't think it's talked about enough. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, but we'll talk about that later. But I represent the culture of black men. I don't represent. Well, it's kind of hard. I don't want to say I represent the culture of black women, but I love and I respect and I uphold the culture of black women. It's important to me because I come from great black women, and the culture of love. So those are the one of the things that I represent.
Dang, we love that. We love that. Thank you for sharing. So, you talking about where you from? So tell us where you from. What you represent?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, my guy? No. From New York, Brooklyn, New York. Grew up in Bed-Stuy. Do or die Bed-Stuy. Between there and Williamsburg, Brooklyn. My grandmother and them lives in Williamsburg. My mother. We when we were in Brooklyn and first got to Brooklyn, we lived in different places, different streets, but our home was always Bed-Stuy.
Okay. You're the second person we've had from New York on here, so
that's
a whole different culture right there too. There is definitely culture. But hey, we'll tap into that in the future when we bring all y'all together. Try to get to understand y'all a little bit more. But we appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
You mind sharing your age with us?
I am a young age of 28. Plus, no, I am at the ripe old age now, of 45 years old.
Oh man, love it. 45, man. Okay, what athlete's 45? I can't think of it. I know you got Jackie. What's it, Jackie Robinson? It could come up 45. It'll pop up in my mind a little bit later. I know it feels like somebody that played for the Spurs, but we will come back to that later. What sign do you represent?
I don't really represent any signs like that. If you want to know, I was born October 1st, so I know people say, "Oh, you Libra." I said, I don't really, go by that, but yeah, we know that because.
like,
oh, I feel like my wig almost fell off. All right. I said, "Oh my God!"
Oh. Hey, we holding it though. If I knew we was wearing caps, I would have brought mine too. But we here, man. Thank you. Can you describe your childhood and upbringing to us?
My grandmother had 11 children. And I was the youngest grandchild. So I was like the 12th, but growing up around all these different experiences, because each person was a different experience. I felt like I had a front seat to a family. Like I felt like I was sitting on a front seat to a theater and seeing my uncles and my aunts and them go through life and experience life in a way that that would later, touch me and grow me. And when a lot of people don't know that there's things that my family doesn't know, or my uncles and aunts don't know that I saw. And when I saw them struggling, when I saw them having heartbreak, when I saw them achieving, when I saw them getting through things, watching my grandmother and their relationships to sons and to their sons and to her daughters, it really helped shape me. I played. Excuse me. I remember playing. I remember feeling loved. It was. I definitely felt like I was the center of the family at one point in time, but, and I always loved, my favorite sound was to hear my family laughing. That was my favorite sound, to hear my grandmother laughing. Hee hee. That's how she would laugh. Hee hee. That's how the joke was good. But, yeah, but then I also grew up it was a predominantly Jewish and Puerto Rican and Black. So we had those, in Dominican. So my best friend was Puerto Rican. My other best friend was Dominican. Had some Jewish friends, Hasidic Jews, and grew up like that. And I grew up in the 70s and 80s, late 70s, early 80s. So then, we grew up with the, Latin Kings and, there's the other gangs and things like that. So it was fun. It was great. We could explore, but you always knew that there were certain things certain places you knew not to go, certain times not to be there. Yeah, but I loved growing up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I loved it.
Wow. And I love the point where you're talking about laughter, that what brings you happiness, make you smile, and especially your loved ones at that as well. It's something that I appreciate the art we have or the art or the gift, more like it, of technology, where we can hold on to those things. Because like I was talking with my aunties, and like she found a video cassette, and we're trying to figure out how to get some of those moments pushed over now to digital, so more of a digital sense where we can share those. I still keep voicemails on my phone from my mother. I can play those things back so I can have that. Okay, this is happiness. I feel loved here. So man, I love that. Oh man. So how would you describe, how would you describe the roles of your caregivers growing up?
Well, I guess we'll get into more of that later, but I think I only met my biological father once growing up. I had to be like 4 to 5 years old, and he had a haircut like George Jefferson.
the reverse thing.
And he had the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so, and he had bell bottoms on, and he gave me an airplane. I never forget, he had the airplane. That's the only thing I ever had from him. And everything after that, like besides him, it was my aunt, my aunt. She's like 5 years older than me, a couple years older than me, and she was like my big sister. And then it was the rest of the family, my grandmother, and then my mom. My mom, those first years, she worked for the police department. She was working all the time. She was working all the time in the 70s as a Black woman in the police department. You know what I'm saying? So crushing it. But I always remember when they would have riots or certain things like in Brooklyn, I would look at the television and I could see my mother, at there, talking to people, being in community affairs, talking to people, interacting with them, and I was always fearful. That's why I always said I would never become a cop, because I don't want to put my family through that. But my caregivers, they were loving. Not that they didn't have their faults, you know what I'm saying? But I think a part of it is that we grew up in a godly family, but it wasn't a godly family where it was so strict and so, this is what you're gonna do, and it was never like that. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother and them, they believe in spanking your bottom, and my mom, they believed in that. So I got my behind whipped substantially, and deserved every one of them. But there was always accountability for me.
Yeah,
and I think, and then I'm the oldest grandchild, so I had cousins under me, so I always felt like I had to take care of them, like I was taken care of. Like my brother Brandon. Me and him, you'll see our videos on TikTok. He's my cousin, but we were grew up like brothers. So I try to give that, I try to give that to other people, that I always felt the accountability, but seeing the dark side, having that front seat, seeing the dark side of the people that I love and seeing them go through stuff, it gave me a compassion for people. It gave me a compassion. We're so easy to throw people away. We're so easy to not even think about the second chances. But then I see all these people that I love, but then I also see the wrong in them. I see the things that they are dealing with, and it was like, if I can have compassion for them, then I can definitely have compassion for other people.
That humanity right there.
Yeah.
there's no avoiding that at all. We are who we are. Okay, man, thank you for sharing yourself with us. Once again, if y'all just now tuning in, either here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you watching us live here on TikTok, we want to say thank you. You're tapping into the makings of Will with Everything Culture. So thank you, Will. So, no, you mentioned having your cousins, but do you have any other siblings? Or you may count as siblings?
I do have other siblings. I had 3 half sisters. I have 2. One of them passed away, of lung cancer. I got a chance to meet her, but they're from my father's side. So I met them later on. That's a whole thing. Like, I wish I had got to know them a little earlier. Because my sister that passed away of lung cancer, we just talked for like a month straight. We just talked, and then she was gone after that.
Oh.
Okay, and then my other sister, she's going through some things. Well, we don't really talk and like that. And then my other sister, my other big sis, they're all older than me. She's we're the one we talk to more often. Beautiful children, beautiful nieces and nephews. Like So we keep in touch and stuff like that, but I've always had that longing for my brother. I always say, my mom, when are you gonna have another kid? When you have another kid? My mom's like, I'm trying to pay these bills. What you talking about? Have another kid? Like, she used to always say, I'll only be able to take care of one of you because I don't know if I could ever have you as twins because you got so much energy. So that was Yeah, so those are my brothers and sisters, and then I have friends that have become brothers and sisters as well.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. How would you describe your education so far in life?
It's surprising to a lot of people because they see me and they're like, "What?" So I went to Nyack College, and I got my degree in education and youth ministry. Then I have my master's of divinity. So I have my MDiv. Then I have started my New York Film Academy in filmmaking and directing. And then now I'm here in Virginia getting my master's of fine arts in film and television.
Wow. Love it, man. Love it. I don't see why that doesn't surprise me. I think that fits you very well.
You think so?
I can see it. Okay. I don't know about everybody else, but I do. So, what was your first sense of responsibility?
Oh, my family. My cousin Michael. He's the next cousin under me. So I always had to watch him, and take care of him. And for me, I was the only child. So when I went to junior high school in Brooklyn, it was, those stories you hear from Biggie, it was happening to me, you know what I mean? Checking your shirt, seeing if it's fake or real, So I worked hard to get to a place in school where that people didn't see me as a herb, but yet, I was cool enough. So it was like, I worked hard on that. Man, and then my cousin comes in there for a ball of energy, high energy, Michael. And he's running around, running up to the bullies. This little kid running up to the bullies. My cousin gonna beat you up. You talk to me crazy. I was like, oh, right, bro. And so the dude's coming up to me like, yo, your cousin said, what do you mean? Cousin Michael? I said, well, what did he say? Oh, he said you had a problem. I said, nah, he's not, I'll talk to him. Oh, okay. I pulled him to the side. I said, what's wrong with you? You crazy? He said, what you mean? He said, what? I said, stop doing that, man. But he's my chance to be a big brother. And, from video games, everything we played together. But that was my first, I remember taking our first responsibility was that. But my major one was my mom. Like innately. Like there was one time me and my mom was coming home and we're about to go into the house and this guy stops us. the whole time he's talking to my mom, but I innately know to step in front of her. So I step in front of her, and I don't even hear the conversation really, but she's talking, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Brother, come on, brother, we're supposed to stay together," blah blah blah. She's talking to him, and then he ended up leaving, not knowing that this guy had a gun in his pocket trying to rob my mom and I, and the gun was pointed at my head, like in the pocket like that. He was on drugs and stuff like that, and so. Like that's just like I've always had that feeling, and it's something I've had to work on because it could be taken as being very damaging to myself. But I always had that: you could do what you want to me, you can say what you want to me, but don't mess with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, well, okay, whatever, ha ha ha, fine, whatever, but don't mess with my family. Don't mess with my moms. Don't test those waters because I don't play that. But I also had to learn that was interesting. I was willing to die for my family, but I had to learn to live for my family as well. It's just so easy to be like, oh, I'll take out somebody, but it was like, well, will you live?
Real. Yeah.
So.
Thank you, man. We would really appreciate you sharing that piece with us, and hope people can pull that in, consume that, and use it in their life. Somebody needs to hear that. I would say that first and foremost. So thank you again. So you got your first responsibility that we greatly appreciate you sharing with us. But can you share with us your first actual job, your first taxable?
Summer school, working for the police department as a counselor with the kids. Always around kids, always, like, because the NYPD would do like summer school for the kids, things like that, and my mom was in community affairs. Again, my family, my mom, cop in the community, so it was in me. So I was there with the kids, showing them, being the big brother, and things like that. Yeah, I don't know about taxable because my mom took all my money.
Hey, that's
right. She took it.
Taxable to me, right there. That's
right. She took it, and then I was like, man, no, I'm taking this. You gonna give your tithes, and then you gonna save it, blah blah blah. So I did that. Went through my money, and then at the end of the year, at the end of the summertime, she said, "Okay, here's the money you saved." I was like, and mind you, that's the only money I had was what she. was what she saved, so that, and then my first the job after that was I worked for Chase Bank as a teenager.
You got to be trusted to work at a bank.
Bro, I got a hookup from a good brother on the block. He was one of my mentors, Bill. He hooked me up with a job. We worked at Chase. So I was in the mail room, in the bonds room, opening up packages, taking the bonds out. I fell asleep at the chair. Bro, it was just like, when you get that first job, when you get a job 9 to 5, and I'd be like, whoa. But I was getting money. It could be, that's what I thought. For my age, I was like, whoa,
Didn't we all?
Bro, I was just like, I was getting sneakers, the constructions, Tim's, all that stuff, doing everything. And then again, my mom was like, all right, give me this money because saving. I'm like, oh, come on, man, give me that. All right, end of the summer, how much money did I have? I hardly had nothing. Mom says, here's the money that you saved.
Shout out to moms, man. She's thinking of a master plan. I'll tell you that.
That's yeah. That's my first love right there. That's my mom. The first love.
Oof. Oh man, we got to come back to this. What were and what are your beliefs?
They've changed recently. My belief is you should love yourself first. And if you don't, learn how to. Learn how to love yourself first. I'm a Christian, so I love God. But also God talks about loving yourself. He talks about loving us. But also, a lot of times, whether you're in church or not in church, you got to learn how to love yourself. Because how can you can love somebody else, but there's a limit to it. Okay? There's a limit to it. But if you learn how to love yourself, now I can properly address you. I can properly talk to you and not talk to you in bitterness or know myself enough, because I've been loving myself so much that I know, you know what? I'm bitter right now. I'm angry right now. And instead of me hurting you, let me take some time to heal and forgive. And now I can properly love you properly. Because that a lot of that is going on, and sometimes it's celebrated. I hate it, and a lot of people do it for social media, for drama. Like, well, we want to talk about that, TikTok, certain things like that. But like when you get on TikTok, people got these lives, and oh, brother, so like I'm like, that's what you want to do when you get off work. Like, you got off work to get into some drama and talk about drama all the time.
Did they get off of work? But okay, we ain't gonna get on that.
You stupid.
They may wake up. I see you saying get off work. I think some of them wake up with it.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Listen, mornings I be doing right before I do my good morning, beautiful people. People are already with the, and I'm like, nah, how you wake up with all this vitriol? But I'm like,
I was like, now, but it draws people. So it's like, it's a word that we don't discuss enough, and it's called dysfunction. We don't talk about dysfunctional behavior and dysfunctional people, and when we're moving dysfunction, even when functional people or you whatever, sometimes we have dysfunctional ways, and a lot of times we don't recognize things as dysfunction. You hollering about not having enough peace, not being happy, blah blah blah, but you place yourself where it's always drama.
See, they talk about it, but they use it in a different term. They call it toxic.
Right.
I made a video about it when I worked for CPS. It was no such thing as this toxic. No, this is a dysfunctional or this abusive home, neglectful home. That's what we termed it as. It wasn't toxic. Toxic, cute, but it's dysfunctional. That ain't normal. That it's not helpful. It's problematic. But hey, once again, like I say, people like that, and it's nothing new under the sun. It's, as long as I was a little boy, it's been around. So, but we appreciate you so much, and trying to educate and be that difference and being that change that not only that we need in our community society, the change you want to see too. So I value that. And thank you. So, adjusting to our next question, and that is, who has been the biggest influence in your life?
It probably my grandmother and my mother. Yeah. My grandmother and my mother. My grandmother, man, she's a woman of God. But I feel like my God, and God speaks through my grandmother. I'm blessed to have her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so blessed to have her. But my grandmother has spoken into my life. My grandmother has put me in my place. My grandmother has challenged me, called me to the carpet. And when she calls you to the carpet, she don't let you get away with nothing. She asks you the hard question.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, my grandmother said to me one time, because I was dealing with something, and you still got that pride, My grandmother said to me, she said, who told you that thought? Who said that to you? Where'd you get that from? I'm like, she said, it wasn't from God. And I was just like, and then she said, "Oh, so you allowing the devil to just run Rashad in your brain, huh? You just gonna think dysfunctionally and be dumb, huh?" I was like, you know what I'm saying? But as much as I didn't want to hear it, as much as I didn't want to be reminded of where I come from and all those things, she did that. You know what I'm saying? And like that's like she's a warrior to me. She's a pioneer. She's a pioneer. She's one of the first Black women to be ordained by Church of God in Christ as a chaplain. That you know they don't really ordain women. That's they have their theological
religious.
It's about that, right? So. But that my grandmother's one of the first, and my mother's the second. Right.
Hold on. With the yeah, shout it out to him. Shout it out. I wish Serenity was in here right here. So you got to clap the hand. That is beautiful, brother. That is beautiful, man. For the people who don't know, that is a big deal. Like you probably Google their names and they'll pop up. That's how big of a deal it is. It's once again, I can go down a whole line about my we talk about mother. We need to talk about the grandmothers out here too, but we'll come back to that another day.
I don't want to start crying out here, bro.
Hey, I tell my grandmother was a missionary, and people like they'll really know a missionary like would drop down. Hey, is there any she in here? But it's such a beautiful thing, man, and. Oh, shout out to them, man. Much love to your influences. And we want to thank them for allowing them, bringing you to who you are, being a part of the makings of Will. So thank them for that,
For real.
For real. So, Will, what are your hobbies and how did you get into them?
Everything tech, movies. I love movies. I love filmmaking. I love creating. I love brainstorming with other people. I love collaboration. I love sharing. I love the filmmaking, the movies. All that started with my imagination. I've always had a vivid one, and my mother was in charge of the drama guild at church. So instead of the kids being bored in the church, just going to Sunday school, whatever, my mother created this drama guild. And I was right there next to her second in command, knowing everybody's lines, knowing, who, when to speak, singing all the songs. I was always there. So that always spurned me, that always spurned my imagination. And so from a young age, I always said, well, I'm either going to be a preacher, a minister, or I'm going to be a director or an actor, and it was just like, and I'm looking at myself now, and I'm all of.
Hey, when you say that, it's like, why not both?
Right. But back then you're like, what? And it's strange because I'll be in film and we're making things, and I ask me about myself, and I'm like, oh, wait, you got your MDiv? Like I'm like, yeah, I can go through all these arguments with people. I've done the research. I've done this stuff. Like I can go there with people, but it's like. I'd rather choose on loving somebody and showing compassion. And when it's time for that, it's time for that. But people get so caught up in these traditional things and what they thought. And a lot of these traditional things are coming from dysfunction in the first place. Right. There's
or disagreement,
Right. Well, there's that, but also on both sides of the hand, there's dysfunctional stuff, and so I find myself in my hobbies trying to address those things, because we need to talk about it. Right. Right. So that's why I did the documentary on the disparity between the Black community in medicine, fixing grandma, and I'm doing one now on the health of Black men in America. But all that comes from my mother always placing me in a place where I could create and be creative. And she never bogged me down. And even when I got on punishment, I had to write essays. And and I said to my mom, I said, Mom, well, can I write a story? Can I write a story? Thank you guys so much. Can I write a story? And my mom was like, go ahead, right there. And then I could see her watching, and I would just come up all these ideas, all these scripts, all these plays. Every time I got in trouble, I was writing and writing until a point where it's like I just stopped getting in trouble. Well, yeah. So I said, right. You just have a cap to the side. You just put on a cap. So yeah, so that always, my imagination is always, I feel like my imagination has always been my blessing. It's always, I don't want to say crutch, but it's always been my rescuer. Even when dealing with pain and dealing with trauma and dealing with things, I was always able to escape into my imagination, escape into my art, to help myself heal and understand, So my hobby is my purpose. It's become my future. Media is my purpose. Filmmaking and directing and editing, all that stuff is my passion, my purpose, and where I'm supposed to be.
Wow. I love it, man. Thank you. I peeped the transition. We hey, if you're just not tuning in, y'all, this is the makings of Will with Everything Culture. You check us out. We're live on TikTok right now, but if you missed a part of, you want to go back to the beginning, or you have to go, make sure to go to YouTube, make sure to go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to a podcast, or just type in Everything Culture for you to catch the full episode. We appreciate it, but we appreciate Will. And we're going to this next question. So, Will, if we need your recommendations, brother, we need a book, a movie, and a television series. Can you give us one of each?
I can give you a lot. I got too much, actually. No. Oh, okay. So, book. I mean, I could say the Bible, but then but there's something called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, I love that book because it changed, and I think it was the beginning of changing of mindset when it came to character and making money, and who a person is in making money. You see this kid looking at his father, and then you see this guy looking at his friend's father who's making more money, but he doesn't have the same education as him, but different experience. And it was just like, okay, it started to make me think, what in me am I not utilizing? What in me has got placed in there that I'm not even seeing? A lot of people, we look for outside sources. And if I just get this, if I just get that, if I just get that, and it's like you haven't even begun to look at the well inside of you. There's so much there, and if you just lend yourself to that, you'll be surprised. So that's one book. What was the other one?
Movie.
TV series.
Bro, you go television series. Which one you want to go?
Bro, I could do both. If you, oh man. All right, you want inspiration, or do you just want from
This is the makings of Will, everyone.
Oh man, a movie. In movies is hard. One thing that made me in these movies were the early movies. The Never-Ending Story. E.T. The Dark Crystal.
Shout out to Jim Henson. Okay.
Right, shout out to Jim Henson. All those helped my imagination, but also encouraged me as a kid. And I see a lot of times some of these things coming out, they're biased, but in these movies, they're like, yo, there's so much in you. The 5 Heartbeats sticks out to me. I love the Five Heartbeats, man. TV series, man. I love The Walking Dead. My favorite one, don't judge me, but one of my favorite ones is Hannibal.
I don't like where you looked at the camera right there, but continue. Wait a minute.
Hannibal, because of the camera work, the storytelling, the creativity. They allowed themselves to be creative and go there, and it worked out. But it ended up shutting down. But if you could check that out, Hannibal, it's just like, I like, yeah. So those are some of my top ones. A lot of great movies, though. They got some great movies coming out here, man. That John Wick 4 was crazy. Ooh.
I'm trying to go see that, but I'm trying to talk the boo into it. But hey,
What?
I think she'll roll. We'll see. I know they got the Mario movie. I heard that was pretty good too. So we'll see. I heard it was nostalgic. I would say that.
The Raid. The Raid.
I don't know if I've seen that. Heard it.
The Raid Redemption. Just check it out. With action like that, they got the Raid 2, but you look at the Raid 1, sick.
Action crime. Okay. I'll definitely peep.
Yeah. Bro, if you haven't seen that, bro, the trailer's crazy. Definitely. Like, yeah.
Okay. We're rocking with it. Okay, so we have in the name so many. So you said Rich Dad Poor Dad for the book.
Mm-hmm.
First one you said out of the movies was The Never Ending Story, E.T. But the Raid is a movie, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then for television series, you said The Walking Dead,
Hannibal,
and Hannibal, the main one. So I just blocked it out of my head.
It's all right.
So we love it, man. Thank you for sharing. Y'all make sure to check those out to get to know a little bit more about Will. But Will, if you had a magic phone,
okay,
with this magic phone, you can call anybody, anything, really, real, fake, fictional, people that may no longer be here, whoever. Who would you call? With your 3 calls?
I had 3 calls.
You got 3 calls to make. As long as you want to be on the phone with them too, and whatever y'all want to talk about.
I would want to be on the phone with, man. Okay, my 2 phone calls would be with Martin Luther King, and then the other one would be Malcolm X. Because they've seen things in ways that we can't even imagine, and have dealt with so much pressure in a way. And as creators and as people who are going to change the world, we're going to hit some of those bumps, and I would love to get their advice, to get their understanding. You know what I mean? To just to get their perspective. I think those ones, and then I would want to speak to Jim Henson, because he created this whole thing. Like, there's this, as far as imagination and what that was like, Yeah. See his creative mind. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I love that, man. I would say about Jim Henson, I don't know if you watch Eureka's Castle or you knew about that. That was a big part of my childhood and a lot of things. I did not, it makes sense, but I did not know he had a hand into that as well. I was like, oh man, this man was everywhere.
Oh yeah. He was on the forefront for a lot of things people don't even realize, puppets and everything.
Yes.
He was on the forefront for all of that.
Man, influential, that's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, what has been an impactful moment in your life?
Okay. It's only been a couple of them, but I was working at a board of education after getting my master's divinity. God kept tapping me on the shoulder about media and film. So these kids hit me up at the school and was like, listen, I keep getting in trouble after school. Can you do like something? Can you have like a program, whatever? So the first thing I knew to do was make movies. This is before I went to school. So I started teaching kids how to conduct themselves on a film set. We made our own movies. So we get into this digital NBC digital media contest, right? All state. We go there. I got on khakis and a white shirt. My kids got on shorts, shirt, some pants, some jeans. But we go in there. We finally make it. We go in there. We walk into Columbia University. That's where it was at. We walk in, and it's huge, massive inside there. And so you got all these students, teachers, and kids from all these smart schools. And you can tell like that have the money for the technology. They got all these things. And we walk in and we're like, what did we get ourselves into? Right. So we had submitted for the Digital Media Film Festival. And so we're going in there. And the lady's like, oh, you're William, right? So yeah, that's me. All right, well, come on in. All right. So we going in, they sit us on the front row. And so we just sitting there, me and my students. And then they go through the contest. You see all these movies, these smart kids and all these other things. And it's just me and my kids from the hood. So we sitting there and they say, all right, third place. All right, second place. Blah, blah, blah. And then when he said second place, I was like, huh. Okay. And then he said, first place. IS 49, Circle of Life, which was us. And we were like, when they see, it was like zombies rising from the sea. We were just like, and my kids looking at me, I'm looking at my kids, we're looking at each other, and we're like, oh, and then when they said it, you can hear the schools go, who?
Oh man.
right. It was one of those. And it was like, who? And we were one of the maybe one of two black schools there. And so, oh my gosh, so we go in there, and so we have to walk behind the screen. And so if you win, they show a 30-second snippet of your movie or something that you make. So me, I do my anything thing. So they're showing that. Me and my kids walk behind the screen. They give the kids cameras. Right? There's like 4 students, they're sitting there. We go in there, they give them cameras. And I remember as they give them the cameras, I look to the left and I can see the audience. And the audience is watching our snippet. And everybody's like this. Everybody's attention was like, and I could see this blue light on them. And I remember at that exact moment, I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. It was at that moment when I saw them, I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And 2 of the kids went into film. One of them went to NYU as an actor. He's an amazing actor. The other kids are doing great. But it was at that moment I knew, I was like, this is what I want to be. I love this.
Wow. That is a beautiful feeling, brother. Like, man, like you done describe like something out of Disney. You know what I'm saying? You remind me of my childhood films, like I've seen so many times. I was telling you earlier about Heavyweights, and that was like that feeling of hope and inspiration to the unexpected, like, hey, we just here. And I'm listening to you talk and saying, oh, these other smart kids, these other things, and you feel like you were not worthy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And to win it shows you how, once again, when you said the Lord was tapping on your shoulder, that was very specific. He gonna put you in spaces that you don't feel like you need to be there, in rooms and things you don't feel like you need to be there. But I ain't about to be preaching y'all right now. Okay, man, but thank you. That is beautiful. That's absolutely, and I think you're in the right place to be. Hey, Keep moving in your work, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother.
Whew. Goodness. Oh, Will, what is your theme song?
You remember Rocky 3 and the montage?
No.
Yeah. With Ivan Drago, right? I just remember that montage, and I realized that when I go to work out, when I have to deal with stuff, that I need to attack it. And every time I feel like I can't do it or I don't want to do it, that's what I think about, because that's where character is made. That's where I destroy the will of my insecurities there. So something like, even when I work out, I'll put the song on, and then I'm working out, and then I'm chilling, I'm driving, doing what I got to do. But it puts me like in go in that. And I think the Creed 1 sequence, when they're when he's running and the bike's behind him, like that's the second one. Like I have it on my playlist now. That I'll put them every time I don't feel like working out, I throw it on. All right, let's get to the gym, and I'm going hard with it.
Trying to figure out who is it's Eye of the Tiger, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, no.
We doing some research here with the makings of Will.
Yeah, man, I love that right there. The training, hearts on fire. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, hearts on fire. Okay.
Yeah, that joint right there. You just put a all of a sudden you start, and then you watch the montage, and you like, let's get it right.
Okay. See, we got to it. So I'm gonna put that on my workout playlist now. All right. And thank you. Once again, if y'all new in here, we're listening to the makings of Will. Thank y'all for tuning in, tapping in. So, Will, how would you define joy?
Joy. It's oh man, it's connected. Joy is connected to a fulfillment of something that you've wanted and desired. So joy comes from things that that you have received or achieved, or a place you finally gotten to. I think it is a fruit of happiness. Like I feel this joy because I'm happy in this, because I've reached this. So I try to find joy in everything. Like when I'm sitting here editing and all this other stuff, when I walk outside, I'm from New York, right? So when we walk outside, you see the clouds, smog, whatever, things like that. But when I'm in my place where I'm at, Virginia, when I walk out there, bro, and I smell them fresh trees, man, and that sun, and then the birds, I take joy in that, because I'm like, I'm here. I think a lot of us should take more time, into exploring that joy that we feel.
Smell the flowers.
That's right.
Appreciate the color purple. Okay, don't get me started down there. So,
what's up, KG?
Thank you. That was up, KG. Was good with your mind. Look what you done started, brother.
That's my homie right there.
Already. So, in what areas in your life do you need to heal?
Okay, I want you guys to know it's the setup, right? Then here comes the hook. Healing? What's that? I think I need to constantly forgive myself. And I think I need to forgive people I need to forgive them for making decisions that they had to make for themselves to be happy. And let them off the hook. And Like, forgiving myself. I think forgiving myself. It took me a while to forgive my biological father, because I don't want to give him too much credit on here, give him credit like that, but he won the best, he really wasn't there. And so the next time I hear from him, I think you'll be interested in this. Next time I hear from him, I'm on the bus and he's telling me he wants to connect on Facebook through an account that's not his and through somebody else's. So the only time I've interacted with this man, it's by his secretary. So I was like, okay. So we finally talk and everything's going good. And I'm sitting there and he's like, hey, like I could feel God in my heart tell me, listen to his words, but hear what he's saying. You know what I mean? And so, bro, let me tell you something. People believe what they want to believe, stuff like that, but I know my God is real. Everything that came out his mouth, I knew it before it even came out. And long story short, he basically was coming to New York and he wanted me to he wanted to use my passion for one of his services, use my skills.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with me. Had nothing to do with Will, the son or the man. It was about something else. When I called him on certain stuff, then it was like, oh, well, people mess up. Oh, you dang right. But it was just like, it was in that moment that I was like, you know what? I now understand why you had this man out my life. See, a lot of us, we get so mad, well, why wasn't he there? Why wasn't he there? And you don't realize that there was a blessing that this person wasn't there. Because you thought you had issues then. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, Lord, thank you for that. And so now I begin to look at myself and say, okay, what kind of father, what kind of man am I going to be? And is forgiveness going to be at the forefront?
Ooh. Talk about it, man.
It has to be. It has to be. Forgiveness has to be at the forefront. And you got to forgive yourself and let yourself off the hook. Yeah, listen, there's times I think about things like, man, I was stupid. I messed up. And it's like, you got to let yourself off the hook, my guy. You can't grow. You can't grow if you don't allow those roots and those plants to be cut on you. You have to grow. Your things have to be cut away. And the only way that does that is by forgiving yourself and allowing yourself some grace, allowing yourself some peace.
That's the word I was about to drop. You got to give yourself grace. Biggest thing, the opposite of being petty, is grace. It's just being real, man. Because we all are humans at the end of the day. We are going to mess up. You're going to disappoint yourself before anybody else will disappoint you. That's a guarantee. But,
you know what's funny, Drake? It's so easy. It is the easiest thing to be petty. It's so easy, bro.
I know. If anybody know, I know.
It's easy to be petty. You be
like,
not to be.
It's so hard not to be. When somebody say something slick, I was telling my wife, it was like I was on Twitter last night. Somebody that just try to make a joke towards me, and I was sipping, I was inebriated. I've been waiting for this for late. Let me go in on him. I know some things about him personally. He don't know that I know about him. I'm about to destroy his. I'm about to ruin his whole rest of his 2023. And you know what? The guy was like, nah. I don't want to do it. I don't want to, but that having that grace and being modest and calm is hard. It's hard. He don't want it and there's usually anything that's worth it that's going to be better for you is going to be harder. That's what I've known in life. And when they say it's harder, everybody's not going to be able to do it. That's why we're set apart. But once again, We're gonna be doing it. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Hey, what's going on? It's your host, Drake. Be Drake with everything culture. Just want to butt in real quick and ask for y'all support. Now, y'all know I greatly appreciate all the love that you're showing listening to the show, but I have to ask, could y'all please leave us a review? And if you don't know how to leave a review, don't worry, I got you. You can go to Apple Podcasts, find Everything Culture. Make sure to click on the name of the show. Scroll down to where you see ratings and reviews. Please hit that 5 stars or just leave your honest opinion. Then right under that, you can drop us a review. Leave a subject line, the catchier, the better, and just tell us how you feel. That goes a long way with supporting us. But let's say you don't have an iPhone. What should you do then? We got you with that too. You can go right over to Spotify, find Everything Culture again, and you just want to hit on the ellipses at the top right, and it will pop up where you can rate the show. You see? There you go. There you have it. Now make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and anywhere else you may listen to Everything Culture. We greatly appreciate your support. We love y'all, and let's get back to the conversation. Let's get back to the show. Peace.
Well, the thing is, like, you connect yourself to that toxic experience for that person, and now you have this relationship that doesn't die down because you've decided to connect yourself. You know what? I'm going to decide to make you feel like crap right now, which is what we're really saying.
It was going to make you feel like crap, and I'm going to embarrass you. And people go, I'm going to make ties with people for embarrass you. Because that was already working. Like, oh, your followers going to go up after you drag and slaughter him all across the internet for the next 30 to 45 minutes, but it's going to last forever. But it's also going to bring you more attention that you truly don't want for your platform. Because you don't want that. That's what I'm trying to bring love. So you got to be careful about what you could. It was like really temptation in the wrong direction. That's what it was. It was like it was an easy target. That was me. I was like, how dare you?
And you made it easy?
Yeah, I'm about to go in. But I said, let me just go to sleep. And I was tired, but it was good though, man. It's good. But man, thank you. Great response on so many different ways that we definitely could bring this back in a different conversation. But right now we're still with the makings of Will. So Will, who is part of your community of support?
My family is number one. They've supported me in ways like that are unimaginable. They're always there for me. Like, I love my family, even the ones that don't talk a lot. They're always they're like my skeleton. They're my backbone. I miss them so much. Like, even being here, I miss them so much, man. It's just me out here. There's some friends of families out here, but like, it's really just me. And so I miss them so much, and it's interesting because now they can feel me. Like, my mom called me 1 o'clock in the morning. My mom don't go to sleep late. I mean, mom called me up, yo, just, I miss you. But that's also part of the growth. But that, I've met some friends online that have become really close to me. On TikTok, that I've met from TikTok, that I've met from streaming on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. There's some people that I really that have become family to me, and there's a lot of people, but especially my boy like KG, like KG, like, we don't have to talk a lot, but we understand, and he always he keeps that. He keeps that focus, and I know what most people think, like, he's joking and blah blah blah, but he knows me with certain situations, certain things. So sometimes, and he'll always say to me, "Focus on you, big bro. Focus on you." And we always joke about it, but like, there's been times where it's like, nah, and he's been like, and I can hear him, "Focus on you, big bro. Focus on you." And it's been like, I thank God for that. I thank God for people, Love it.
We love you too, Serenity.
Definitely.
But definitely, man. Thank you. So, what privileges do you benefit from?
I think from love from my family. I've benefited a lot from that. Also, I've benefited from the work ethic for my family because I'm coming from that generation where we get things done. Ain't no just talking about it and it's not getting done, or maybe, or we talk about we getting, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm over it now. No, we, when we go into a job, because you always heard about it, a man that doesn't work don't eat. Now that is both amazing, but it's also detrimental as well, because then you can work and then work yourself to death. And that's something I had to deal with, because I hadn't been on vacation in 10 years before I went to Mexico this last time. Like that's 10 years of me putting off my family, saying, oh, no, I'm not going to Mexico. That's 10 years. It's like, do you think, and it's like, well, why not? Well, I got to work. Like I got, oh, you got to, well, things are going to be, but, and so my work ethic, I love my work ethic. I love that when I get into it, I get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no lack in me where I'm like, all right, let's get it done. That's how I was able to work at MTV for 8 years, because I put myself out there, went to work. I was a logger working overnight. And every day I would meet the assistant editor. I'll be like, hey, you got any jobs? Like, do you have time? Can I just sit with you? Can I just learn what you want to learn? Can I just, and most guys will come in there, well, I'm just gonna do this work and get done, and then I'm gonna be on my way home for a nice sandwich and some salad. It's like very this is my job. I'm going home. But me, it was always like it's like they always say I got that dog in me, and I was just like, all right, how can I reach the next part? How can I do the next, how can I reach the next thing? And that's why I want to teach so bad, because I want to teach that healthy way to the generation coming up. Because some of them, they don't have, they just be like, listen, oh well, and I'd be like, yo, if you're going to get into this field, you can't come into the field or come to an opportunity and you're not respecting the opportunity. And so I've benefited a lot from my family's work ethic. That's something that we do. We get it in. We help people. And when one thing my family does, we help people when people need, when we see a need, we try to fill it. That's my mom's like that. My grandmother's like that. And I've heard to hear my grandmother say, she would be like, well, sometimes you got to do the extra so that the whole team can succeed.
Hey, man, shout out to your peoples, man. Another one. Because it's rare. And I ain't gonna spend all. I'm gonna say it. I don't like spending enough time. I'm gonna say it. We talk about the generations, how we were raised. Are we Generation Z or X or Millennial, Baby Boomer? So you was raised by your mother and your grandmother. I was raised by my mother, aunt, and grandmother, and I was raised by 3 different generations. So I have a little bit of both. But that hard work mentality. And I'm glad you said your grandmother, because that's why my grandfather used to wake up like early before you think we legit have roosters next door, and he would be up before the roosters crow. And when he's up, he would make everybody else get up too. And all throughout the day, he's busting his butt. And like some days, and I said it on my makings of me was, man, my grandfather, sometime when I was laying in bed, I feel my grandfather like, get your ass up. If you need to be up to do something, and, those type of things I value, so man, I appreciate it, man. I can see that hard work always pays off, but you got to, because it goes to my next question. How do you relax?
I used to think that the way I relax was watching television. That's not relaxing. That's just calming down. You know what I'm saying? That's just like coming down from work. That's not resting. And I think me, my mom, my girl, we do that a lot. We just like, So, um, I like getting up early in the morning when it's quiet and hearing nature. So whenever I'm stressed out here or whatever, I go to my couch and it's facing outside. It's facing the windows. We have a sliding door, so it faces the window, and you can see the trees and the light. And I could just sit there and just breathe. I think a lot of us don't remember and don't breathe enough. We forget to breathe. We forget to take a break. You know what I mean? A lot of it, like there's things that are happening. You don't even realize you're not even breathing. You're not even holding your breath properly. You know, boxers, MMA people, one of the things they do when they're fighting, they learn how to breathe. Because they have to go through strenuous things. And I believe it's the same thing with us. So that's my thing. Sometimes it's playing video games, because sometimes video games can get a little stressful because you're trying to win. You know what I mean? So, but I think being by water, and I think and talking to people relaxes me. It's just having a good conversation where it's not, oh man, okay, and like I'm at I'm too old for that. Like I'm just like, can we have a conversation where we just chilling?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Some people don't know how to do that though.
Yeah.
And I like you say, breathe. I don't know if you have a Apple Watch, but sometimes we got that app. It would tell you to breathe. I'm like, man, I ain't got time to breathe. Get out of here.
right.
They're like, take
breathing.
It's to breathe. I'm like, man, get out of here. Stop wasting my time.
Breathe.
Breathe. Oh boy. Man, thank you. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit with this one.
Okay.
This is more about culture. In your culture, your community, in what ways do y'all celebrate or recognize death?
I think we celebrate death by trying to celebrate life, the life that lived before the ending of it. So like my mom and my family, my uncles and aunts, when we're talking about a person, even if we have my uncles that have passed away, we don't celebrate their death day. We celebrate their birthday. We celebrate the life before that end. And because I think there's just a lot of there's a lot of finality and just like, well, he died, and celebrate. I don't want to celebrate his death because he did so much, or they did so much before they died. So I think it's we celebrate them by celebrating their life.
Love it. When did you realize you were different?
I've always known. Even as a kid, I knew. I'm the only child. I wasn't selfish. I always wanted to share. I always wanted to meet people and things like that. And I could just see people. They didn't know what to do with me. They liked me, like even the bullies in my school liked me. And I'll never forget, I had a conversation with one of them. This is the junior high school. I'm like, yo, and I asked him, I said, yo, so what is it that you guys have a problem with me? And we're walking this guy, and my bully knew how to fight. I don't care people talking about, most bullies don't know how to fight. Nah, my bully knew how to throw hands. So we're walking. He's like, he says, well, it's now you cool, bro. Like, you cool, but you just, I wasn't the status quo.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's always been like that, even in dating, even things like, oh, you're nice, but you're not Jamal, you're not Tyreek, you're not Tyrone. You know what I mean? And that happened to me all the time. I'm like, yo, I see, I can get naughty. I can get crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like, I got something for you, you know. But it was like,
okay, this once again, this is the makings of Will from John. Was it? Hold on, from New York. What part of New York?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. If y'all don't know, you should know now, okay? Because I ain't never heard nobody ever in my southern life say naughty. I was like,
you know what I'm saying? You don't think as a kid, you know what I mean?
That's culture, though. That's culture.
Right. And it's like I found myself trying to like prove myself, and it was just like prove myself was too hard. Like, you know, even trying to be a player, like it was just it was something that was easy yet hard for me. Like that's because I hated seeing her cry. I hated deceiving. You know what I mean? I said, no, this ain't me, bro. Like I know me, and this and that. Now I see my boys. They was dirty. They was getting down for the get down. You know what I mean? I was just like, you know, yeah, I did my dirt, but it was just like hurting people in the process. Like these people didn't even care. So I always knew I was different. Like even, you know, oh man, I don't know if I want to say this, but like there was a certain young lady, you know, in the hood, you know, that's a jump off, whatever. And you know, everybody.
A jump off is considered a sexual partner who is more than a one-night stand, but with whom one does not intend to form a long-term romantic relationship.
You know, everybody knows you to jump off.
So I should pause the video and put the definition.
Right. You know, but when I saw her, when we hung out once or twice, and I was like, you know, like you just like I treated her differently. You know, but they always say you can't turn a into a housewife. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not mine, but I know several.
Right.
You know, but I disagree. I had to be clear. Somebody got confused. I know.
Oh man.
I digress.
Right. You know, like, you know, everybody, you know, like, but even in that, where I should have been, no, I'm just trying to get this nut, or I'm just trying to, you know, whatever. I was like, this is a person, right? And I'm like, oh, no, this is a person. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and she's down for whatever. And I'm sitting there like, come on, what you doing? Like, you out here looking crazy right now.
It goes back to your humanity.
Yeah.
Big part of it, man.
Yeah.
Indeed. Hey, how you feeling?
I'm great, brother. I'm glad to be here.
And we happy to have you here. You know, so my TikTok family, y'all good. You know,
what up, TikTok?
Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all
for so much. Through. For real, thank you.
Oh,
hey, K Blake.
Oh, what's up, Blake?
K Blake said, "Hey, Blake? Drake."
You over there? Okay. It's all love you. Hey, support my guys. Support my peoples. We all peoples over here. What's up, Peace? What's up, Greggy? You know, this our little break before we get back to it. Just shout y'all out and give y'all love. You know, this is live recording.
Oh, hey, T.
Streaming and all that good stuff. We give y'all some attention. We know we focus over here, but we giving y'all some love over here.
That's right.
You know? So
that's facts.
But let's get back to the questions, okay? Let's get back to it. The makings of Will with everything culture once again. So I would love to hear your response to this question. Your biopic is coming up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Would play you. Who would co-direct it with you? Because I ain't even gonna get into that whole thing. What's going on? Who would co-direct it with you? What network, or would it go into the theater? And if it goes to streaming site, what streaming site would pick you up, and what would it be rated? As far as like R, PG-13, NC, TVMA, all
that. I think Ron Howard would direct my biopic. Ron Howard. To play me, I mean, you know, your boy in the gym, so you know what I mean. Like, it'd probably be me, but because I would love to be a full actor, like somebody to direct me and stuff like that. So I think me. Co-director be Ron Howard. Yeah, Ron Howard. and Antoine Fuqua.
Antoine Fuqua. Okay.
Well, what?
A streaming network, or would it go to the theater? How would you frame it?
Sundance. It would go to Sundance. Sundance first. Hit all the festivals, Sundance, and then it'll probably go like someplace like HBO or something like that. You know, either that. I don't know. I'm thinking about Netflix, but I think so. It'd probably be like something like HBO, maybe Amazon.
Going to the Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
What would be the rating?
Rated. It wouldn't be rated R, but it would definitely be. I think it would be something for like everybody could watch. Something like Forrest Gump, like. You know, something dealing with imagination. There's a movie with Ben Stiller. I don't know if you remember. He works for Time Magazine. It's a movie where he works for Time Magazine. I think it would be something like that.
Okay, let me see. Time Magazine.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Yeah, it would be.
If somebody had a pew to my head to guess this movie, I would have been out of here.
But like, I love that movie because the cinematography and the attention to detail and the imagination they encapsulate you in is amazing. But it would be the Secret Life of William Wonders III.
Maybe, hey, let somebody write that down. Somebody put that down right there.
Yo, my mind, bro, but the way I've seen things and like the way I look at things, like I got as blessed with a big eye, you know, I was blessed with a discernment, very high discernment. And observation. So I see things before things are coming. I'm looking at things. I'm observing you. I see things. My imagination allows me to. That's why I'm able to do what I do. You know, creating things like that. But yeah,
love it. So
Cinemax.
We got a few more. You right?
I'm here for it, brother. I'm here for that and then some. You feel me?
Okay, we may break down, do a little thing with TikTok after this. We'll see. But yo. Whew, okay, let me see. Try to pick the next one. Let's go with the either or. Okay, would you rather per se?
Okay.
So, would you rather go back in time and speak to your younger self, or go into the future? Well, no, go back in time and speak to your younger self, or your future self come and talk to you now.
Younger self, hands down.
What age would you go to?
Right before college. Right before college, I would go right and tell myself, go into communications. So I would be so further moment as far as my art and my love and my film and things like that. Yeah. I would tell myself, focus on you. The wife's gonna come, the girl's gonna come, they'll always be there. Yeah. And I'll even tell myself about when you meet this girl, stay away from her. When you meet this girl, take her to the bank.
Noted. Hey, wisdom. You know, go back. I like that. Man, thank you.
Listen, can you, yo, Dre? You ever tell your younger self, yo, leave that one alone?
See. You talking about me? Hey,
it's all part of the process.
See, my elder, that's what I'm saying. My process, I had to learn that way, or I was going to learn a different way. Now, my elders, my family, with that, they would tell me, leave that girl alone. I'm like, nah. I learned by that second, third one. I'm gonna start listening. Every girl, I was like, hey, you gotta meet my family. Every lot of people, oh, you ain't got no. Hell no, my family ain't been wrong about a damn one yet. Facts. The one that everybody loved, hands down, married to her, hands down. I'm talking about like it was like across the board. I like
wow.
Be smart about it, you know. They got it. You got to know your people. If your people love you, make good decisions. You got to listen to them.
That's right.
But yeah, that's enough about me. Okay.
Yeah, I like how you just shimmied your way out of it, back out of it like, oops, you thought you had me, didn't you? Thought you was slick, didn't you?
Hey, man, I was raised by him. You feel me? But right here, my favorite question: if you can have any meal at a snap of your fingers, what would it be, and who would prepare it for you?
Easy. Smothered barbecue chicken, macaroni and cheese, and a banana pudding from scratch. Mom Dukes. Okay. My mom makes the best banana pudding from scratch. I'm like, it's a staple. Me and my brother, we don't play games. You understand what I'm saying? We don't play games. It's so crazy that we don't play games. That one year, everybody knows that we don't play games of banana pudding. Don't play games. All y'all can get some. But banana pudding is me and my brothers, right? Go in there. We scrape them. We get everything. We go in there. We get some. And it's all gone. They be like, what in the world? This girl then came to our house. We invited, this girl came to our house and packed on in one thing and then put it to the side like, yo, he was like, where's it at? Where's the banana pudding at? Like me and my Brandon, we like, yo, where? We find out who it is. She like, he's like, nah, she can't come back. She can't come back. My mom's like, you best not. Nah, she can't. No. She can't come back. She ain't been back since. I love her. Amazing person. Nah, you can't come back. Like there's just certain things you don't violate. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. That this young lady that you may be listening to this right now, I want to tell you, you deserve that the time out you in, okay? You deserve it, because me being a brother, I'm just, man, I was 13, almost fighting my sister's boyfriend, a grown man, 40-something, because he ate the last bit of, we used to have this sausage roll. Oh, man, I woke up and he ate this. I'm like, hey, you got to square up, cuz, man. You got to square up. I'm big enough, man. I was about 13, 14. I was hot, heated, man. Like, what you like, it's always them outsiders, man. Every time. Violate. Who raised you? That's the thing. You know? Do that. Ooh. And it's about food. Oh, man.
See, and she know it, too. That's the worst thing. She knew it. She knew it. Like, because she was like, we was like, nah, you can't come back. You can't come back to the crib.
I have a whole conversation about like man. But that's what we learned. That's what I was just about to say. I'm about to make some banana pudding this week. That's what I was just about to say. I was going to make some. Okay. We got 3 more questions.
I'm down for whatever.
So, what we got right here, how would you want people to remember you?
That I have a legacy of creating, a legacy of love, that I loved people, and that I created. I was a creative, and I just didn't create, but I made quality. But the biggest thing was that I loved people. I think about that often, bro. I think about my legacy often. Every day I think about when I'm here creating, all these things when I'm here by myself alone. I think about Like I've cried over it, bro. As a man, like I've cried, grown man, I've cried over it. Like, yo, is this where my story ends? Like, but it's in my hands though. My story's in my hands. Cause like you see, it's a weird thing when you see other people living life, and it's almost like a calling sometimes to be a creative. But you see other people living life, married, kids, like they have, they got something that I'm sitting here, no kids, no wife, you know what I mean, no girlfriend for that matter, but yet I'm on the cusp. I'm on the cusp of creating something that's monumental. It gets hard, bro.
Yeah.
You bring it, and you find yourself at the limit. You find yourself at the crossroads of, am I just gonna quit to be mediocre? And ain't no mediocre in me, but it's so easy to quit just to be mediocre. But then I think about it, like, I've got so much in me. You know what I mean? And so I find myself at the crossroad fighting, battling. Like, am I going to settle for mediocre, or am I going to be everything that God placed in me? I think about my legacy, and I say, I don't want to look back and be like, is that all I could do? Did I just daydream? What did I manifest? And that is something in me from my mother, from my grandmother, from my family, from my friends, something from my God. Something in me says, no, get up and fight. Get up and fight.
No, it's beautiful, man. Oof. I had those same thoughts. And you just said that's God talking to you. But hey, it comes back to that, man. Love it. Something else, I think, it reflects your legacy too. My next question is, what changes do you want to see in your culture?
Man, I want to see health, mental and physical health changes. Us taking care of ourselves better. I want to see us collaborating more creatively. Like we are the offspring of kings and queens. And sometimes we get caught up in trying to live this American dream that we forget about the dream that the dream that can connect all of us, even as a people. Like, yo, we come together, things shift. When we come together, things change. And I want more of that for us, instead of us being divided and all this other stuff. And everybody's more prone to get on a podcast and talk about relationships and girls and boys and all that stuff, and that's fine, but they're so prone to that, but they're not prone to be like, let's have a podcast and talk about what culture is, but also what my defects are in my character, so that I can properly love somebody in a relationship.
To know your why.
Right.
There's a reason why I started this podcast, but it's, once again, you're saying so much of it right there. Man, thank you.
A lot of us don't know our worth, bro. They don't know they don't know their worth, and they don't know your worth. So it's easy to tear you down. You know what I mean? It's easy to tear you down.
And that's why I do the makings of you. Because the thing is, this is building humanity. People usually would call things weird. Weird is something extraordinary. Weird is a positive thing. And it's usually something weird. It's something you don't understand. That's one of the main things. I don't understand it. So I'm going to quickly dismiss it by calling it weird. Like, I don't even know what it is. Okay. And a lot of us, and when people don't know what something is, they usually have fear towards it because I don't understand it. Okay. And when they don't understand it, they start to hate it. When they have that fear and hate. But hey, if we can have these conversations, at least you ain't got to know everything about me, but I have a family. I have people that love me. I've been through hurt. I've been through happiness. I am so, like, once again, one of the statements by Black people used to be, I am somebody. And the thing is, now I'm like, I hope I educate people just not only by the conversations we have from our panels that talk about the numerous different things from health, wealth, creativity, gaming, all these things that are cultures, but also introducing people to other people like yourself. So I want to say thank you. Okay. This has been an absolute pleasure, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Pleasure.
I've been waiting for this.
Hey, same here. But you got one more question.
Uh-oh.
How can we support you? How can everything culture support you?
Okay. I've had to work on this. I do have a YouTube page called and it's my production page where I gladly will do tutorials when it comes to production, whether it be for your social media, whether it be for your podcast, all these other things. I know how to set that up for you. You know what I mean? And all these things, and then my filmmaking. So I have it's called Quiverful Productions, LLC. And that is my YouTube. And if you guys can like and subscribe, that would be amazing. I'm trying to get it to a certain amount. And then I have a gaming page that I have on TikTok called W Wonders, and it's the number 3. It's the number 3. I'm trying to get that to 1,000 so I can go live. The gaming page is a page where we can get together as a community and just play some games together, like we used to do, like Taboo, and maybe I'll do some other gaming stuff on there, but just somewhere we can do some karaoke. You know what I mean? And have that dedicated to that. You know, diversify. You know what I mean? So if you guys can follow me on that, that would be magnanimously. I would be so grateful for that. Quiverful Production LLC, W1S3.
Man, y'all heard it right there. If you're trying to find the brother, he done listed the ways he can be found. All right. So I know you got other ways, but those 2 ways he shared with us. Any if they trying to find you anywhere else, would you like to share it with us right now?
W1S3 on everything. W1S3 on TikTok. 3, but it's I on TikTok. Instagram is W1S3. You'll find more of my filmmaking stuff on Instagram there. So I deleted my MySpace page, so I don't think we're going to be available for this.
What about Black Planet? Hey,
what's that?
Black Planet. I'm about to get into Black Planet. Hold on, wait. What is Black Planet went through? We can talk about this later. We ain't gonna talk about this in the episode.
I also have a
See, hey, don't.
I also.
Hey, you do. Hey, this is your.
Hold on. But why you was like, wait, hold on. Why you?
Black Planet used to be like a networking page.
Yes.
Like a link. Black Planet used to be like LinkedIn. A lot of people don't know.
It was supposed to be.
It was. Then I found out Black Planet kind of turned into like the MySpaces, and it was like Black Planet was MySpace before MySpace. People do not talk about it, and then
that's
Black Planet became like Plenty of Fish and all that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's on right now. It's like that now. So I ain't.
Yeah, it's Plenty of Fish now. It's
yeah, I ain't doing none of that. I always thought it's about for networking and community and all that, because TikTok, we cool. My TikTok agent, we cool. I ain't even talking about nobody else. I don't know why I'm even talking about these other sites, because I love you, TikTok.
Yeah, I love TikTok. TikTok is a great community, man.
But but they need to stop muting my stuff. If they treat me right, I'll be better. But cases, hey, Will, you've done it. You did it. You've completed
Appreciate it, brother.
makings of you with Everything Culture. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the opportunity, brother, for real.
This is a season that I am grateful to have brothers speak up and speak emotionally mature with themselves, more well known, and doing, and care about the community, care about our culture that we share with one another, from numerous different ventures, from being a black man, from being a gamer, from being raised by women, and women that put men in our lives that care, all those things
facts
that it matters. And we're going to talk about this more in detail, but getting to know you is an absolute pleasure, man. I hope
appreciate it.
To this feels the same and will absolutely share and grow and support. Y'all make sure that, like, when I say this brother got talent, he has talent. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from them and collaborating with them as well. But as far as TikTok, we still gonna be here. But as far as Zoom and everybody's listening to this afterwards, we want to say thank y'all, man. We appreciate y'all support. Y'all can find us anywhere you type in Everything Culture. That's a A, no I. In Google. We have a website, www.everythingculture.com. Make sure to share, like, support. We got merchandise. We have more coming to you. And if you'd like to be on the show, make sure to go to the website and just click on the contact list and put in your information, and we'll reach out. We want to say thank you all again. Appreciate you. God bless. Peace.